Alright, so welcome to another session here of the weekly forecast. Similar to the previous week, this week is going to be really quick and simple as well because there's really nothing much to comment about. Okay, moving straight into the charts over here, we are on the weekly time frame. I'm just going to give the clearest price action right here, which would be the euro dollar, or if you can just label them as FX. On euro, we have found a lower low, similar with the British pound, but if you take a look at the dollar, it did not form a higher high. At the same time, we are forming SMT with the order flow that we were anticipating, which is continuation for dollar to go lower, as well as continuation for euro to go higher after taking out this swing low over here. So if you can mark it out right here, and then if you take a look at the dollar, this bullish fair value gap right here, it has tried to utilize this fair value gap to trade higher, but as you can see, price has trouble closing above even this swing high. We're not even taking this swing high, but we're using the nearest swing high, so it's having trouble closing above. In that case, I would be looking for the next objective, which would be the weekly swing lows over here. And if we were to look for this low, that means euro is going to look for this high, which is very near to the month of July, like the highs of July. So pretty simple. Next week, I think we're going to start the expansion higher to take out the previous month's high. So I'm biased. My bias for euro and British pound is bullish. However, if you take a look at the euro versus British pound, this candle right here actually pierced into this fair value gap over here, which I did not notice from my last analysis of this pair. So if you take a look at this candle's low, it's 859.66. The fair value gap is 859.69. So this candle actually tapped this fair value gap, but just a very small tap right here. Okay, and then we form a swing low as well as taking out this short-term low as well, or should I say intermediate term low. Right, so I think it can continue higher, and in that case euro is probably going to perform better. However, if you take a look in terms of market structure itself, British pound seems to be stronger because it's able to close above down close on the weekly, and right here was just the second retest of this down close candle, and it might have an easier way up as compared to euro. We shall see. Okay, so for indices, it's very choppy. We have YM forming higher highs after taking out intermediate term low, and then we have Nasdaq just trading around the previous dealing range. ES, same thing, it hasn't really expanded yet or didn't really show any true manipulation over here, so it's going to be slightly tricky. I would have to use the daily time frame for the indices to validate anything at all, because on the weekly I just can't really see anything that is very clear. So for indices, because we are heading towards the end of the month, we might be getting this SMT on a high as a sell trigger down into July's low, because July's low is still one of the main key level that I'm looking at in terms of the indices. I don't think that we're gonna leave those clean lows open, but I might be wrong, so it all depends on the daily time frame. If Nasdaq can respect this fair value gap or this bearish order block, then I think it's possible that we might trade down into this level here, but it needs an engulfing candle to take out this strong up close candle to validate the move towards the downside by the end of next week, which personally I don't think it's gonna happen by the end of next week. Probably the first week of September would be much more reasonable in terms of timing. If not, it's gonna be really super volatile. And yeah, that's it. I'm neutral for indices. There you go. And that's all for this session here. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, do leave them in the comments section down below. And I'll talk to you again. Have a great weekend.